Jai Shri Ram. Hello friends, welcome to Chitra Astrology YouTube channel. Today in this video, I am going to mention or explain whatever the knowledge I have in the signification of the planets. That means today I am going to tell you about the signification of the planets. And I am not going to follow the conventional description mentioned in the Vedic astrology. I will choose the planet in a sequence where I practice and find out these are of paramount importance as compared to the things written in the astrology books. Whatever I have found, accordingly, if I start, I just want to mention the most important planet is basically a Ketu. The Ketu planet is the most important planet. It will basically tell you why you have taken a birth on this earth. These are the things where your prarabdha things will be starting, or you can say you have to do this type of work which Ketu tells. Say, for example, if somebody has Ketu in the Gemini sign, because in the last class I have mentioned different rashis or significations of different rashis. In this class, if Ketu is basically, people will say is a moksha, if Ketu is a detachment, I can understand and I appreciate and I tell they are correct. But Ketu is not only for that purpose. Basically, Rahu and Ketu are the two nodes of moon. These two nodes of moon, basically, the information stored in this universe is in water. And moon is a karka of water. Just like your pen drive, inside the pen drive, there are some different type of electronic registers which store the information. Same way, inside the moon, there are different type of registries which are represented by Rahu and Ketu. That is the north node and the south node. The Rahu or the north node will indicate about the future or the results which you are going to obtain. But Ketu is your platform. You are not going to get the result until unless you are going to perform the work of the type of nature indicated by Ketu. No doubt people will say, Saturn is the Karam Karka. Yes, my dear friend, Saturn is a Karam Karka. You have to use that energy of Saturn to perform that work as per the Rashi. But the ultimate thing in the life is in that sequence, Ketu, Saturn, Rahu. That means, that's why I have taken Ketu as first. If your Ketu is, say, for example, in Gemini sign, this native is going to either do the work of teaching, some paperwork, communication, or some sort of trading. But that trading is also going to be a part of communication. That means this native in this lifetime has to use Gemini sign, Gemini sign has a different karka as compared to the Virgo sign. The Gemini sign says that you have to be expressive. There are so many people who have a Ketu in third, but they cannot communicate by speech, but they might be intelligent enough to communicate through some written things, or they might be doing some sort of trading. That means Ketu indicates your life actually what or from where it has to start. No doubt there are other significations where Ketu, in which house is placed, which planets are impacting on Ketu. Because nowadays, every YouTube channel has Ketu in this house, Ketu in this sign will give the right result. I don't want to say anything on that topic because whatever I have gained information of over a period of time, single planet will not able to give the result. In a different chart or in an individual chart, we have to take a collective combination of dharma, artha, kama, and moksha trikon. From there, whatever the best signification we have or we can find out based on that predictions are given. I just follow that. Rest, everybody has their own thoughts and they have full freedom to use that. So, if you are going to be associated with Chitra Astrology energy, my dear friends, try to understand the Ketu is going to indicate your past karma, and based on that past karma, in this present life, you have to perform the work. Second important planet is going to be Saturn. Wherever your Saturn is there, you have to do the physical activities or the physical work based on the sign of that Rashi. Say, for example, if somebody has Saturn in Scorpio, Saturn in Scorpio. If somebody has Saturn in Scorpio, that means that person has to do lot of activities where their secrecy is to be maintained in his work. Or he may do some research activities. That means Scorpio is basically of spy type of characteristic. That work, whether he do in a school only, school job, or whether he does a job in industry, his assignments will be of communication, because Ketu, I am saying here is in Gemini sign. But if Saturn is in Scorpio, he cannot discuss whatever communication he is having with his boss or senior authorities. His work is to maintain those of secret documents of that particular office or that particular organization. But the thing is, Scorpio is a Martian sign. He will be at some authoritative position also. Next, say for example, if I am mentioning Ketu here, that means I am bound to write down Rahu here. If Rahu is in, basically, Ketu is in 3, I'm just taking an example. I'm not saying that this chart is a Kalpurus chart or I'm maintaining Rashi sequence correctly. Say, for example, I had mentioned Ketu in 3, that means I have to mention Rahu in Sagittarius sign. Sagittarius sign is basically of a teacher sign or a guru sign. That means that knowledge, wisdom is going to be associated with that person. And in future, whatever the result he is going to get, that will make him more wise. No doubt, doing those activities, he will have to face some sort of obstructions, some sort of hidden, no, not hidden, some sort of unexpected results, sometime in positive way, sometime in negative ways. But thing is, if he is going to do continuously the communication work, he is going to do that communication work in a hidden, secretive way. Later on, after performing that work over a period of time, this person will be becoming a guru type of energy or guru type of a person. That means many person will come to him to seek the advice. This is the part which I want to mention here. Similarly, if say for example, please again I am saying this chart is not indicating any shots of the correct rashis, but the planetary position I am indicating as per whatever the things comes in mind to explain. Say for example, Jupiter is in 10. Now here, Jupiter, Guru, wisdom, knowledge is in the house of education, creativity, romance, children. This person is not going to get all the negative results, whatever I am saying. But thing is, related to him, particularly related to him, is the knowledge, is the wisdom, will come after lot of efforts to this native. Even though he will have a less knowledge, but he has to in this life tendency to pretend that he is having a very good knowledge. But remember that Guru always blesses. How much blessing that native gets, because 5th house is again a Pura Punya house. The people will think that he is having a less knowledge. But due to Pura Punya karma, the knowledge easily comes to him. But when he wants to dissipate that, he needs to perform, he needs to take lot of initiative, lot of he needs to put lot of hard work to deliver that knowledge. These are the things which I have found while analyzing the charts works very good for the person. Similarly, if say for example, I am saying Mars, if Mars, say for example, I am putting here into Taurus sign. Again, I am telling intentionally, I am writing the Rashis not in sequence, just to tell the flavor of that planet in that Rashi and in that particular house, because all the different possible combinations are there. And please don't think that I am writing in an inappropriate way. Okay, I am doing whatever I am doing. It's free of cost. The videos will be available free of cost. It's a free channel. No earning from this channel. Just to spread the knowledge. Mars is the karka of a body. Dehe. Forget about the blood, forget about the efforts, forget about the value. This native has to maintain lot of activities so that his metabolism remains active. If this person is going to be idle, his metabolism will not work appropriately, because Taurus sign is a sign of efforts, physical activities. You cannot put a chair or bed to and watching TV. You have to go out of the house. You have to go out of your comforts to make your body fit. Then later on, this blood, value, efforts, prakram, husband for the female, or younger brother for the male or female, all these things come very later on in this life. First thing is that you have to maintain your body so that you can do all this type of work. Similarly, now the two most important planets which basically decide about your soul and mind. Soul is represented by Sun. If, say, for example, Sun is in Aries sign, Sun is in Aries sign, this person will have high ego. But this ego is not always. Whenever situations come, if somebody instigates something against him, then his ego will be activated. Otherwise, the name, fame, aggression will easily come to this matter because it is stored in the soul. Or this person will be very pious. He will be God-fearing person because soul is in very exalted form. Similarly, if I have to mention moon, now I have to take an example of the signs or rashis which I had not mentioned till now. Moon is mind, moon is your emotions, moon is your travel. Mercury is not your travel, moon is your travel. Because the people say, wherever physically you cannot reach, you can roam with your mind. Man. If your moon is in Aquarius, that means emotionally you have to sacrifice something. If it is in the seventh house, emotionally you have to sacrifice towards your opposite sex. I'm not saying if you are a male that you will sacrifice emotionally your wife. No, then it will be a negative word. Thing is, something you have to give back to the opposite sex, whether in terms of nanny relations, whether in terms of, you can say, helping them, whatever way you want to do, because everybody has different set of energies and the energy always activates. And it activates in a different way for different type of people based on the strength of the all planets. That is known as Shadbal. Shadbal is nothing but the ascending or descending order strength of the planets. Somebody has Jupiter more strength, somebody has Saturn more strength, like that. That particular house. Similarly, if I want to explain if I want to explain if I want to explain Mercury, say for example, for Mercury, I need to take green pen. Mercury, say for example, I take it in 12, Pisces sign. Now, Pisces sign, here Mercury becomes debilitated, but it is a Jupiter sign. Mercury is the karka of your education. Mercury is the karka of your relatives. Mercury in Pisces, the people will have education, but the education will not be of the desired level. He may have bachelor's only when he wants to do masters, or you can say MBA type of things. Or he may have MBBS only, but after a very late stage or after many attempts, he will be able to do on ND, because this desire will have to achieve with a constant efforts. And normally, not all the people able to maintain that type of the consistency in the efforts. Wherever Mercury is there, but Mercury is there in sign or house, the characteristic of those things will be there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One planet is left out, and that planet is basically Venus. Venus, I need to take again with the pink. Say, for example, if somebody has again a Venus in Virgo sign. Virgo sign basically is a sign of perfectionist. Whosoever have Venus in Virgo, that person will want his Venus karka thing, beauty, wife, as perfectionist, or continuously upgradation of the beauty or the smartness of that man. Venus also represents what type of clothes we put it, or how we dress up. That means individual, as that he grows, he wants to improve upon on his dressing sense. So, my dear friends, today I try to tell, because I have taken a gap due to some other commitments. I am trying to give it my knowledge in a hidden way, and I hope that you will enjoy that. Jai Shri Ram.